This is my 1969 Quincy D Looper. It's one that was raced by John Woods Jr., which is one of the Quincy team drivers. Kind of neat. It's actually on a Grant fuel tank tower housing. Is a little bit different, a little more obscure. But the Quincy Loopers were one of the first loop-charged engines in the United States. They started by modifying a Mercury, which would look very similar, where they first started doing exhausts, a lot of different porting work, a lot of different things through the reed cages that are in the middle, and then they gradually evolved to the point of doing their own looper. This one uses a Mercury front crankcase, but the back parts are actually castings that Quincy Welding did. Should mention, Quincy Welding was from Quincy, Illinois, was a Mercury distributor and very involved with Mercury through the whole racing evolution. But this actually has flat top pistons. Some of these will call them a flathead rather than a looper. And the looper just refers to the charging, the way the intake charge comes and loops in the cylinder. So it was a very advanced two-stroke technology at that time. Koenig from Germany was a little bit ahead of them, and their big advantage was crankcase, the spacing between cylinders. So while the Quincy Loopers were dominant for several years, the Koenigs wound up getting ahead of them by some geometry, and then the Koenigs also were doing actual expansion chambers instead of just megaphone exhaust. But still a really neat piece of outboard racing history that I'm glad to have. I know this engine, they say, was their best D runabout engine ever, won multiple championships, and set some really high straightaway record runs also.